Vashti. So today we're gonna make pasta with meat sauce. So for that we need onion, garlic, tomato, of course our pasta, olive oil, pasta sauce, Parmesan cheese, red crushed pepper, black pepper, of course the meat, and some broccoli. So usually you just need medium onions, but since this onion is big, we're just gonna half it. You are going to use the whole garlic and the whole tomato. So before you start chopping your ingredients, go ahead and put some water in a saucepan and have that started so it can boil, so we can cook our pasta while we're making our sauce. So I have the water on, and we're gonna start chopping. Let's start with our garlic. So chop the garlic. Just rough chop it. After that, go ahead and just slice the onions. And do the same thing with your tomato. And you can just rough chop everything or rough slice. So we're just slicing the tomato. As soon as that's all done, we can go ahead and start sauteing. So we're just gonna turn on our pan. So just make sure you guys use a bigger pan so you can move the ingredients around. So we have our pan with we have our water almost boiling. So we're just gonna start sauteing. So to begin, we're going to use some olive oil. So just a little, because the meat I'm using is 80-20. That means it's 80% lean and 20% fat. So there's a lot fat content in there, so it's going to produce more oil as we cook. So just get that hot. So once your oil is ready to go, we're gonna start with the onions. And remember, onion first, not garlic, because if you do the garlic first, the garlic is gonna burn and your sauce is gonna taste bitter. While that's cooking, let's put some salt. Let's put some salt in the water because it's almost boiling. Then the onion, once the onion is a little translucent, we're gonna add the garlic. And saute that too. So this recipe is really quick and easy because you just three main vegetable ingredients, just sauteing onions, garlic, tomato, and then basically the meat sauce, the pasta sauce, and other than that you just basically put salt and pepper and the other stuff to taste. So now when that's ready, go ahead and put your tomato. And while that's cooking, go ahead and cut your broccoli up to smaller pieces. And we're gonna put that basically almost on this. So now we can add our meat. And we're just gonna let this cook until it's golden, until it's a little brown. So, but before that, make sure you guys season it already with pepper and salt. And then later on, we'll just add more if we need any more seasoning. So the water is now boiling, so we're gonna add the pasta in it. So this time around we're gonna use some rigatoni, but I only have half a box, so we're gonna mix our pasta and we're gonna add some bow tie. So we're just gonna let that boil and cook. So when your meat is almost done, so don't cook it all the way. So let me show you. So basically it's still kind of red, some of them and some of it. So it's basically half cooked. So just make sure when you get it to that consistency that the meat is half cooked, go ahead and add your pasta sauce. And pepper flakes. So if you don't want it spicy, don't add the pepper flakes, or add a little, not as much as I did. And also, if you are vegetarian, vegan, and you're gonna use a meat substitute or tofu, make sure you add the meat substitute or tofu after you cooked the sauce already with the onion, tomatoes, and garlic, and add it on the end, so your meat substitute or tofu doesn't basically break down, so you guys can keep it whole. So now that the meat sauce is cooked, almost cooked, we're gonna add the broccoli. And some Parmesan cheese. Just stir it to make sure that the broccoli and the Parmesan cheese get into the sauce. So we're gonna cover this and let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're just gonna have the steam cook the broccoli really quick, but we're gonna stop almost at 3 minutes because we don't want the broccoli to overcook. So let's cover that, and while we're doing that, the pasta is done, so I'm just gonna take it out of the water. Just gonna move to the sink and take it out of the water. When you guys take out the water too, make sure that you're leaving a little water in there so it doesn't dry out. And so there's a little bit moisture once we add it in the pasta. So after 3 minutes, just take out the lid. Stir the whole thing down. Let's have a taste to see if we're gonna need more salt and pepper. Just a little bit more. So we're just gonna let this simmer for about another minute, and then we're gonna add the pasta. So after it cooked for another minute, I took out half of the sauce that's in the pan. So half of the sauce. We still have a lot of sauce in the pan because I usually make more sauce than the pasta. So we can just cool that down, put it in the freezer, and you'll have sauce for another batch of pasta. So that will go in the freezer. Now we're ready to put the pasta in. Now that the pasta's in, just go ahead and make sure that this pasta and the sauce together. And then it's pretty much done. So we're just gonna add some more Parmesan cheese. As much or little as you want. And the last thing I do that you don't have to do is basically, I'm gonna add a spoonful of butter. Stir that away. So I'm just gonna cover this for like a minute, and the thing is done. I just need to melt the butter up. So now the butter is all melted and the cheese are all melted also. So the reason I put the butter is basically it thickens up the sauce a little bit and it gives it shine for the pasta. So as you guys can see, so that's pretty much it. It's the pasta's done. I'm just gonna turn off the fire and then we're just gonna cool it down a little and we're gonna plate and we're gonna taste it. So now our pasta is all done. I have some in the pasta bowl. So you can see the broccoli, you can see the meat sauce. I'm gonna taste it. Just perfect. So it probably took us about not even half an hour to make this. So it's a really quick and easy recipe for you to do. Thanks, bye.